Ay, ay, ay. Things must be discussed, right? Some things must be discussed. I'm here to tell you where the most beautiful women in Africa are. I am here to tell you where the most beautiful women in Africa are. And I'm going to start with number one, right? Listen, South Africa to me was like going to a big city, right? South Africa to me was like going to New York, right? Going to Atlanta, going to United Arab Emirates, right? Going to Singapore. It was just a big, diverse city to make you think twice about where you're at, right? If someone blindfolded you and said, what country are you in or what city are you in, no one will say Johannesburg. No one will say Cape Town. It gives big city vibes, right? From someone that's been in various parts of Africa, especially some of the countries that aren't doing so well economically, where there are dirt roads and a lot of poverty. I'm not saying you don't see that in Africa, right? I'm not saying you don't see that in South Africa specifically, right? They have areas where that is for sure there, right? But from a touristic standpoint, right? I mean, there's poverty everywhere. But from a touristic standpoint, South Africa gave big city vibes. South Africa gave European vibes. South Africa gave American vibes, right? The city is so diverse, right? And I've said this, and I'll say this again. I seen more people that didn't look like me in South Africa than I did people that look like me, right? I seen more people that didn't look like me in South Africa than I did people that looked like me. And that is how diverse Africa is, right? I'm not getting into the different kinds of Africans, right? Or am I? Right? Because I learned something new in Africa, South Africa specifically. I keep saying Africa, but I mean South Africa. I learned that they call white people Africans or Africanos or however else they pronounce it, right? And they call they call mixed people colored, right? I didn't get it then when people were explaining it to me. I still don't get it. They call mixed people colored, right? It is what it is, right? My experience in South Africa, right? I have to give a hats off salute to South African women because I've been to 7 countries in Africa and they are indeed the most beautiful women in the world. Possibly, right? I'll put DR1. You know, I'm kind of biased to the DR. DR1, I will have to give South Africa number two with the most beautiful women in the world, right? You're going to run into beautiful whites, colors, Africans, blacks, Americans, whatever you want to classify them as, you're going to find them there, right? If you like big booty, a big chest, voluptuous, thin, curvy, however you like your woman, you're going to find them there. It's like a melting pot for diversity.
Oh, I was not ready for this.
You look like you've seen a miracle.
Kind of feels like it. Everywhere I turn, it's just beautiful.
Welcome to Mzansi.
Man, South Africa, you're showing off.
Right? If someone was to say, hey, Chris, keep flying, what's one country that you would live in for the rest of your life? South Africa would be one of those countries on my list, right? I did well with Tinder, right? I don't think I used Bumble in South Africa. I don't believe, right? It's been a couple of months, but I did well on Tinder, and also Instagram, right? So if you're considering going to South Africa, I suggest you go ahead and get on that Tinder app, uh, ASAP, right? Get on that Tinder app ASAP. Honestly, I think I did better in South Africa with meeting women and going on dates and just interactions as a whole with women. I think I did better in South Africa than I did with any country in Africa, to be honest with you. I know a lot of people, including myself, were kind of hesitant about visiting South Africa because of all the news, the robberies, the kidnappings, the crimes, this, that, and the third, this propaganda, this fake news, he say, she say, right? Yes, there is crime in South Africa, right? And as I've said, and I'll continue to say, there's crime in a lot of places. There's crime in America. There's crime in Europe, right? There's crime in Asia, right? But don't let crime be a distraction for you finding your partner, your soulmate, your wife, your girlfriend, someone to spend time with, right? Because there is a great possibility that you're going to find her in South Africa, right? And these women in South Africa, I'm not saying all of them, right? But a lot of these women in South Africa are what you would want from a woman from a physical standpoint, an emotional standpoint, and the list goes on, right? Just like in any place in the world, right? Your status means something, right? Because let's be honest, no woman wants a broke man, right? But if you go to South Africa, specifically Cape Town, I can guarantee you're gonna have a good time, and you're for sure gonna find someone beautiful, and you for sure might find someone that you want to spend the rest of your life with. So South Africa for sure, Cape Town specifically to me has the most beautiful women in Africa, right? That's not even a doubt, right? Let's go to number two, right? Let's go to number two. Number two is going to be no other than Rwanda, right? And here's the catch about Rwanda, right? I ain't gonna say I was talking to someone from Uganda, but I had this Ugandan friend, right? She was attractive, right? But I felt like from talking to her for like a year or so, on social media, having conversations with her, I knew that we could never have a relationship, right? Because at this point in my life, right, I know that I am not looking for a woman where I gotta pay 100%, right? I'm just not. I'm being honest with you. Like I said in previous videos, if she got a voluptuous body, right? If she got a big booty, right? All of those things that I just said goes out of the window, right? If she has a huge butt, if she's voluptuous and curvy, right? Listen, I'm gonna work 6 jobs to take care of you, but she gotta be perfect. She gotta be, you know what I like. She gotta have a thin waist and a donkey, right? If she got that, you know what I'm saying? Disregard anything I said. But other than that type of woman, right? I'm just not looking for no woman that's just to leech off of me. I'm paying her bills, her hair, her nails, this, that, and the third, right? Just because she's a woman, or just because she's cute, or just because she has this, right? Or just because she gives me ground and pound. Hey, how you doing? I need a favor. I need a favor. I know I'm sitting here hanging backwards like 50 Cent at the Super Bowl, but I need a favor. I'm not asking for money, donations, clicking the link, nothing like that. Do me one favor. Can you do that for me? It's free. I swear. Hit that subscribe button. Right? I'm not at that point in life where I am settling, right? I am not at that point in life where I am settling, right? I am not at a point in life where I am willing to take care of a woman just because she's attractive. I am at the point in life where if and when I find my soulmate, we gotta be a match made in heaven. If and when I find my soulmate, we gotta support each other. She gotta benefit me and I gotta benefit her. So I said that to say that me and this woman for Rwanda was talking for a little bit, but we start talking about relationships. She told me what she wants, and she provides emotional support. Listen, if all you provide for me in a relationship is emotional support, I don't need you. I can call my mom for emotional support. I can call my siblings for emotional support. My aunts, my grandparents for emotional support. I am not look. I can call a counselor for emotional support. I am not looking for no woman that all she brings to the table is an emotional support. And that's something that I've learned that's common throughout women. I'm not saying African women. I'm not saying we want women from Rwanda. But one common denominator, right? Something that a lot of these women have in common is a lot of them want a man to provide this, and all they're providing is good looks and charm. And you got to support them. You got to pay for the makeup. You got to pay for them to get their hair done, their nails done. You got to pay for their businesses, right? You got to pay for all. You got to support them for whatever endeavors that they decide they want to fulfill. But you'll just benefit them because they look good. So my problem with Rwandan women, and some of them is they feel entitled, right? Are they the second most beautiful woman in Africa? For sure, but a lot of them are entitled, right? And I was in Rwanda a few years ago. I don't know if I might have a video. I don't know if I think I do got a video on my YouTube somewhere. But my problem with Rwandan women, man, this goes for a lot of women, but I'm just talking about Rwanda, is wigs. I hate wigs, right? And I've said this before, I'll say this again. I was dating a woman from Uganda, maybe 2 years, whatever it was, maybe a little less, maybe a little more. and I literally threw away some of her wigs. Like you could tell her, ask her today, hey, did you ever look for a wig and you couldn't find it? And she would tell you, I literally threw away wigs. Right? I said, hey, you're beautiful without it. I'm supporting her, motivating her, trying to lift her up, right? Boost her self-esteem. But she wasn't horrible without wigs, right? I prefer women without wigs. I prefer women with natural hair, right? Uh, I hate women with wigs, and I went on this date in Rwanda. It was some popular restaurant which I thought sucked. It was like go down. It's like on a hill, kind of, sorta. It had like a little embankment. Yeah, like little tables or whatever. It was cool. Long story short, she came looking crazy, man. She came with this crazy wig, like some wig she just took and just put on her head and came out to meet me. So wigs is kind of a turn off, especially if I know it's a wig, especially if it's an obvious wig, especially if I can see the lines and see the glue, right? Wigs are kind of a turn off to me. I'm not really into wigs. Like outside of African Queen, I've never dated no woman that wore wigs. Like I'm not into fake hair, right? So one thing I don't like about a lot of women in Rwanda and a lot of other places, right? America, Africa, but wigs, man, like they heavy on wigs. Like she might have 20 wigs in the closet, right? She may want to go get her hair done every 2 or 3 weeks, and you got to spend a couple $100 getting a wig installed. I hate wigs, right? So I could never fully commit or commit whatsoever to a Rwandan woman because they love wearing wigs, right? They love wearing wigs. But are they attractive with the wigs? A lot of them, yes, right? A lot of them, yes, but they would look a lot more attractive without them. But nonetheless, right, there are some beautiful women in Rwanda, right? And I'll say this: are there ugly women in South Africa? For me, yes. Are there ugly women in Rwanda? Yes. There's ugly women in all of these countries that I'm going to name. But to me, Rwanda has to be number two, right? And as someone that mentioned, good luck finding them, right? I don't think that a lot of the bad ones really go to clubs every weekend out. You know what I'm saying? Like Rwandan women, you got to find them where you find them, whether it's social media, whether it's, apps, whatever the case may be. But a lot of these bad looking Rwandese women, like they don't go to clubs every weekend, right? And if a woman goes to a club every weekend, she's not my type, right? Because either she's in the partying or she's in the selling. Right. Number three for sure has to be no other than Uganda, right? People say, oh, you biased, you dated Ugandan woman. I'm gonna be honest with you. Uganda has some very, very beautiful natural women, right? And there's a lot of very, 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 very ugly women in Uganda as well. But Uganda has a lot of very attractive women, right? They do. I've been there twice. Actually, I've been there more than twice. I've been there about 3 or 4 times. But I believe I went to Uganda once or twice by myself, and then I met my ex there once or twice, whatever the case may be. But I've been in Uganda at least 3 times for sure. Um, Uganda has some curvy women, and Uganda probably could take Rwanda's spot on this list. I'm gonna be honest with you. Uganda could probably take uh Rwanda's spot on this list. And funny enough, you can probably do your history, but a lot of Ugandans and Rwandese, they're kind of like one and the same, right? Uganda has a lot of Rwandan people there. Matter of fact, my ex, her father was from Rwanda and her mother was from Uganda. So it's a very diverse. They're like brother and sister. But I do feel there's a little bit love and hate there as well. Like I said, you can find this out online, Google it. But matter of fact, I believe the Ugandan president is from Rwanda or has a Rwandan bloodline. For oddly enough, but Uganda has some beautiful women. But similar to a woman in Rwanda, a lot of these Ugandan women, they're not. I've been out in Uganda with my ex, and the bad ones we went to like 2 or 3 clubs, whatever. Same thing. A lot of these bad ones that know they bad, they not in the club every week, right?
It's alive today, yeah?
Always. Kampala never sleeps.
That flag looks good behind us.
Passport bro in the motherland. Tell them.
You fit right in, my guy.
Right, a lot of these women aren't in the club every week, and a lot of times when you see passport bros or travelers or however expats or whatever, right, gringos, whatever name you want to give them, a lot of times you see these guys in the clubs, right? And I'm gonna be honest, there are some bad ones in the club sometimes, but you're not really seeing the full potential of a woman from a woman when you're going out to clubs, right? And this is traveling as a whole. You're not seeing the full potential of this country meet the woman in the club, right? Because a woman that's a model, a woman that gets a whole bunch of attention, a woman that knows she's bad, a woman that takes care of herself, right? A woman that's gonna make you break your head, turn your neck, right? Get whiplash. She's 9 times out of 10 not gonna be in the club every weekend, right? So a lot of the videos you get from clubs and nightlife and stuff along those lines from guys that have been there, you aren't really getting the full potential. You might get a percentage of it, right? But you're not really getting the full potential of that country. And I will say, from going down to Uganda, I haven't seen a lot of attractive ones. I don't think I've seen any attractive ones, but I have seen a lot of attractive ones outside of the clubs, right? I'll tell you that for a fact. Matter of fact, I was in Uganda a few months ago with someone I follow on Instagram that I feel is attractive. You know, she got a lot of potential. If she didn't have all those kids, she'd have a lot more potential. But I have to give uh Uganda that number 3 spot. I have to. It's just mandatory. So let's go back. South Africa's number 1, Rwanda's number 2, Uganda is number 3. All right, you're saying what's number 4? What's number 4? Great question. Number 4 is no other than uh Ethiopia, right? And Ethiopia has some similar characteristics, man, because honestly, I've thought about going to Ethiopia more than once, right? It's always been on my maybe, maybe not. I've seen videos of guys that have been to Ethiopia, right? They show 1 or 2 cute women uh that I'm attracted to, right? And they might show 50 women that I'm not. Ethiopia's going through some stuff, some economic stuff, some political stuff. That's neither here nor there for the purpose of this video. But a lot of those, even more so than Uganda and Rwanda, a lot of these Ethiopian women, man, they're just not like, once they came out of their mother's womb, they was bad. I'm being honest with you. Like, you're gonna have a hard time, not impossible, trying to find a unattractive Ethiopian woman, right? They were born attractive. But for me personally, right, and this is why they're down on the list a little bit. I like voluptuous women, right? I love big booties, right? It's no secret. I say it a lot all the time. I love a big booty that jiggles like this. You know what I'm saying? This is just me, right? My ex-wife had it. Uh, African Queen had it. My last crazy psycho didn't have it. Not even close. But I love a big booty. So I feel like a lot of Ethiopians, man, I'm not gonna say a lot, but a good portion of Ethiopians. All right, I lied. Most Ethiopians, they're attractive, right? They are attractive. But they don't really have that big booty South African vibe, a big booty Nigerian vibe, a big booty Ghanaian vibe, a big booty DR vibe, a big booty Colombian vibe, right? They don't really have that big booty vibe, man. And they could be higher if they had a big booty vibe, but these women are attractive, right? They are. But you know, I gotta go where there's people that I'm attracted to. Pause. Women specifically. And if I'm seeing videos, if I'm online, if I'm on Instagram and I'm not seeing a lot of big booty women, right, I'm not really inclined to go there. So I've never been to Ethiopia. I was considering it, right? I was looking at it at one point in time a few months ago, but I'm like, I'm just not going to Ethiopia just to check the box and say I went to Ethiopia, right? When I want to go to a place, right, when I'm considering going to a place, I want it to be a place where, you know, I could possibly find someone that I want to be with, not someone that I can post in a video or spend all this money on hotels and flights and food and dates, knowing me and this woman has no future because she don't got no big booty. All right, let's go down the list, right? This might be a little low on the list for some, but Ghana, man. Ghana. People gonna say, hey, why is Ghana so far down the list? I'm gonna tell you why. I was talking to someone this week about Ghana. In Ghana, you're probably gonna meet more people that are not from Ghana than Ghana. Than people that are from Ghana. I'm sorry, let me repeat that. In Ghana, you're probably going to meet more people that are not from Ghana than those that are from Ghana, right? There's a lot of countries that are close to Ghana that are in Ghana, right? I met some people that are from Nigeria, right, and some other places, right? Even talking to Ubers and stuff in Ghana, right, and people that I met that are from Ghana, you know, in Ubers and stuff in the States, right? Because I was in the States a little while ago, you know, Africans everywhere. You're not coming across a lot of people from Ghana. Even if you're going out to the clubs and bars, lounges, whatever you're into from the party, right, aspect of Ghana, you're not running into a lot of people that are actually from Ghana, right? You may see a woman, you may think she's from Ghana. She may be from some state in Nigeria, right? She may be from one of these other countries. So Ghana is down the list because I know if I go to Uganda, I'm going on 9 times out of 10 find women that are from Uganda. Same thing for Rwanda. Most definitely South Africa, right? Same thing for Ethiopia, which I can't really put a perspective for in Ethiopia because I've never been there, right? But from seeing people's videos, doing my own research, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Ethiopia isn't for me, right? But from a perspective of going somewhere and meeting people that are actually from there, you don't really get that in Ghana, man. Like I met so many people that were not from Ghana. I met women that I'm thinking they from Ghana and they're not. So it's kind of hard to judge Ghana because it's so diverse, right? And if you ask an American that's been to Africa, 9 times out of 10, the first or probably only country they've been to is Ghana, right? Ghana is saturated with tourists, right? Tourists, and those that are there to make a living from doing that P for P, that pay for play, right? Uh, it's heavy. It's heavy in Ghana, right? And I've been to 7 countries in Africa, and I'm gonna say Ghana probably got it worse, right? Like 90% of the women that you're gonna meet on social media, on these apps, just want your money, right? So the few reasons why Ghana is so down on it is so diverse, right? There's a lot of people there that are not from Ghana, and you're gonna have a hard time finding a woman that is from Ghana, right? That's one, right? Two is a lot of women are doing pay for play, right? A lot of women are doing pay for play. So you really gonna have a hard time finding a relationship. And I'm not really into traveling just to do pay for play. I can do pay for play where I live, right? Uh it's just so many things about Ghana, man. It's just a big tourist destination that kind of has Ghana so far down the list. All right, those are my top places for the most beautiful women in Africa. Places that I've been to besides for Ethiopia. If you look at YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, you might not go to Ethiopia either,